everyone, my name is Cameron and welcome to The Living Joke. I'm going to bring the guys in a minute, especially considering one of them is consuming marijuana currently. So we have to wait for that to pass. And you know, because of regulations and things. But anyway, I want to remind everyone to please check out our Substack, thelivingjoke.substack.com, and for all the latest podcast episodes and other fun stuff that we post there. Also, we're now on social media. We're on Instagram, TLJ_joke, and TikTok as well. If you're looking for clips from the show and you've been seeing them on Cameron Cowan socials and Cameron Journal socials, no more. Everything's moving over to our own dedicated stuff. I think the next one we need to do is a Facebook page. And then we'll have successfully moved all of the TLJ stuff off my socials. But it's we're having a lot of fun here. So make sure to check us out on that. Follow us, like and subscribe, of course. We really appreciate it. I want to do a big shout out for last week's show. I saw the numbers this morning, and about 100 people had viewed last week's show on the live video and had gotten 76 likes. So that was quite impressive. Very happy about that. So thank you all for listening and watching. And for all of our audio people, that audience has grown as well. The people who are listening to the watching and listening to the re-upload, that's grown as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming with us on this journey. And we're here on episode 14, which is crazy. It seems like we just started and we're already here on episode 14. And we have a bunch of topics today. So before we do all of that, I'm going to run the trailer for Fantastic Worlds, our new anthology coming out from our podcast network, Soupcast. We're part of the Soupcast family, and Something Other Publishing, which is part of Soupcast, has a new anthology coming out called Fantastic Worlds. Tomorrow, Thursday evening at 7 o'clock, come back here to where you're watching this now, because I'll be doing a live panel show with the curator and contributors, some of the contributors, two of them, to Fantastic Worlds, a live show tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So if you're watching this on a Cameron Journal channel, YouTube, Twitch, whatever have you, that will be airing tomorrow night. I really encourage, if you're into fantasy and sci-fi, you got to pick up this anthology, because some of the stories are so good. So here's the trailer, and then I'll bring the guys in. Hi guys.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello. How are y'all?
Good, brother. How are you?
It's been a long day already, which is fun and fantastic. I was working late into the night last night. I did not get as much done as I wanted to. I never do. But it was good, and the gray in my beard is just getting so much worse. Like, it's
nonsense.
I am
Gray
the
is
current one, I hadn't, when I combed it a moment ago, I hadn't seen this big long one in the front. That's yeah.
It adds character.
Longer.
No, that's annoying is what that is. That's just, I'm turning into Santa Claus. It's the Santa Clausation of it all. That's a real...
I can't wait till I get to the salt and pepper.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, great.
Well, it's just if it's not on the back line, like the problem is it's right in front. If it's the back line where there's like some black in front of it, I'm more okay with that. But this one who's decided to like volunteer to be in the front, that's gonna be a problem. Anyway, hello. Most people don't know. I'm actually of our group. I am the oldest by a few years, and so I'm suffering from early onset old, as they call it in Futurama, because some of us are nearer to 40 than not. Anyway, our icebreaker for this week is a bit of Nintendo news. Let me do this and. Chunka.
Connor, you know what I'm thinking.
Yes, so Doug Bowser has retired as president of Nintendo of America after 44 years. He announced his retirement will be in December, and this lovely lady, Devin Pritchard, is going to take over in the new year. So he has been the face of Nintendo America, and it's perfect because of his last name. And she announced his retirement in this lovely picture and everything. And so, yeah, big changes at Nintendo America.
I can't imagine why you'd want to retire.
What do you mean by that?
I'm just kidding.
Because the Switch 2 sucks and is overpriced. It's like, time to get off this sinking ship.
I mean, if I was CEO and then the company was like, let's try to sue the USA, I'd be out the door too.
I mean, that is probably a lot of extra drama in his life that he's not terribly interested in. As we know, Nintendo loves a lawsuit. Like, they,
evil mega corporation and stuff.
Yes, I do happen to know that the new president got her start as a litigation attorney, and I'm kind of like, well, that's the proper person to be in charge of Nintendo, I guess, since their main preoccupation is suing people,
That's what they're gearing this towards. They want her to lead this new copyright. They think she's going to be the leader to keep all intellectual property Nintendo's forever.
Yeah, I mean, I understand defending your copyrights and your intellectual property and all this type of thing, but Nintendo takes it way too far.
I'm sorry, you can't patent throwing a ball to catch something. That's just stupid. That's one of those things. You go to what do you mean it's illegal? Somebody has a copyright. Somebody what? What an insane thing to have a patent on.
Yeah, well, and on top of that, they took down our Pokemon ranking video sort of thing on Rumble, which was dumb. And so, yeah, it's just, no, Nintendo goes way too far. They go way too hard. It's dumb, and they need to stop the madness, over there. But it's about to get a whole lot worse because they've now put a litigation attorney in charge. So, anyway, that's our a little bit of gaming news for today. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, he used to run Nintendo America. See this here? Gay
we got him. Yep.
So, anyway, I just thought I'd start us off on a little bit of gaming news that might be interesting.
Yeah. I want Reggie to come back. Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, though.
No, he went to go save GameStop and or get a huge cash grab and leave.
I mean, maybe a little bit of all the above. So, yeah, well, there's no saving GameStop. There's no... That type of retail isn't needed in today's retail environment. It just isn't. If I were them, I would close the stores, sell the real estate, pay out everybody, and nice, lovely run, everyone, and be done.
Everybody a nice bonus.
Well, if GameStop was really going to keep going, they should have bought Steam 10 years ago. They should have bought an online marketplace and moved in that direction. No one at the company was thinking about that sort of thing. That would have been the thing to do, Or, And with that, you could have gotten big game houses to then release their games through. So rather than us having to install Riot and Epic and Steam, I mean, my computer is more littered with game platforms than trash in Philadelphia. Like GameStop, that could have been GameStop. They could have controlled that whole market completely and totally, and they never bothered to do so. So I have very little sympathy for them.
A serious fumble.
Mm-hmm.
They are
From a
too
business
greedy.
point of view. Yeah. But anyway, so that's our gaming news for the day. Our first segment was one from Connor, who wanted us to talk about SpaceX's new spacecraft launch. They originally launched the Falcon 9 with some new Starlink satellites.
Was not initially my idea, but I'd be happy to share since I have a link pulled up.
Connor is the most...
I do have a link from space.com, Connor, if you want me to put that up.
I had brought this up because I am not a space guy, and I had read something about something launching or whatever, and anyway, I said, Connor went and did some very quick, in-depth research on it that was a lot more interesting than anything I had thought was going on.
Oh, that is true. I forgot that was how that happened. I just anchored it to him because he had the info, so my brain just...
yeah.
Just tied it on to his little boat. Like...
I said something, I was like, what about did a space shuttle just launch? And Cameron's looking at me all like I got 3 heads or something. And I'm like, the spaceship, like the space shuttle. And he's like, no, that we haven't done that in like years. I'm like, I thought the spaceship was called the space shuttle because it shuttles you to space. That is what I thought, but no, I was completely wrong. And I got a complete space lesson.
I didn't know any better either.
But you were smart and kept your mouth shut, unlike me. And I'm like, I know something about space.
I wouldn't say I'm a space person, but like there was, I don't know. I was just sad. I was more sad than anything else. You kind of like, oh my goodness, the wonders of the space program didn't reach this one. That's quite sad. Did you miss the whole when the space shuttle program ended and the shuttles were decommissioned and they were sent to museums? There was one that got pulled through a town by a Toyota pickup. It was a huge promo thing. Like,
yeah, I thought.
Yeah, well, you know how you talk about like the buffoons that didn't focus on history and were just in the math and numbers. That's me.
Yeah, I thought that they were still. I didn't know any of this. I thought that we were still sending stuff into space all the time.
Well, we are just not on that platform anymore.
Well, but yeah, I didn't realize that there was like a platform change or anything. I just thought it was all like the same thing. I thought shuttle was kind of like a general term that everybody used. I didn't realize it was specific.
No. That was the colloquial name for the space transportation system. That's what it was called. And that was the little plane with the little stubby wings. That's very familiar. So
Yeah.
Don't tell that to a Gen X person; they will choke you. Those people are for them. It was the new thing. So you have to remember the space shuttle came out in the late 70s. They launched the first one in 1982, I think. Mm-hmm. And it was very revolutionary because it was the world's first reusable space ship sort of thing. And it was supposed to make space travel cheap and inexpensive. It did none of those things, by the way. It cost a fortune. But it was, and so it was. So when Challenger happened in '86, there was a lot of kids who were children in the '80s that saw that on TV because it was a big national event sort of thing. Because I think that was only the 3rd or 4th shuttle launch they'd ever done, and so it was a big thing. But I mean, it lasted. I mean, that program lasted for 45 years. I mean, it lasted a very long time, and it was not supposed to last that long. It was extended several times. The Bush administration did kind of snake us on that one. They were supposed to do a new version of the space shuttle called the Constellation program, and the Bush administration chose not to fund the new Constellation program. And so NASA, even getting to the International Space Station, we had to rely on Russia and the Soyuz program for years and years because we didn't really have a reliable way to get humans up there, so it was the Russians doing it. And the reason that we had the astronauts stranded is because they've been trying to build a new, hopefully inexpensive, system, And now we have a lot of a lot of private space contracts from Boeing with their Starliner that failed and left those two people up there for almost a year. And then now, obviously, with SpaceX. And that gets into our Falcon 9 story. Connor, go ahead.
Oh, well, I did think this was cool because I didn't even know that these were a thing. A recent SpaceX Falcon 9 launch took place on Sunday, September 28th at 7 p.m. and blah blah blah. They launched 28 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit. I had no idea what Starlink satellites were. I guess they're like... You said they were clusters, Cam, but it sounded like they each contain like hundreds of mini satellites.
Yes, well, they're packed in a round sort of thing, and then once it's launched, they then spread out to where they're supposed to go. They deliver the internet from space to people.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. It's
let's see, some interesting facts. The first stage landing, they successfully landed on the "Of Course I Still Love You" drone ship. Cute name. And then, residents in areas of Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo. I'm sure I just butchered that.
San Luis Obispo, but go ahead.
And Ventura counties. The launch could have produced sonic booms. That's kind of cool. And a visible spectacle with a glowing jellyfish effect.
Yes, that was the satellites spreading out into their proper orbits. They're geosynchronous, so they stay with the orbit of the Earth, so they cover a specific area. They don't move; they stay in one spot, sort of thing. So
that's super cool. You throw a big fishing net out, essentially, of satellites that are beaming internet to people, and it just stays there because it's in that orbit. That's so cool. I had no idea that this was going on.
If you are a T-Mobile customer, your phone also can use internet from Starlink now. There's in your settings if you're a T-Mobile customer. If you travel a lot, like my parents are full-time RVers, they have a Starlink thing. You can even get one from your home now, but for people in rural areas or people who are running cables is too expensive or all this type of thing, Starlink is quite good, and it's quite fast and can get faster over time. So as it gets more sophisticated and the technology improves, they're going to start, delivering multiple gigabit internet literally from space. So it's of all the things Elon Musk is up to, I think that's the most exciting one. He also has a lot of contracts with the airlines, because Wi-Fi on planes is pretty common. Now, that I will say, of all tech, and I'm a bit of a tech person, of all tech, flying in an airplane with Wi-Fi kind of freaks me out. I think I was on our old group chat with you, me, and a bunch of our friends and everything. And I was flying somewhere, and I was literally on Facebook being like, I can't believe I'm sitting in a plane at 30,000 feet and I'm talking to you people. Like, because I'm old school. Flight was 4 hours of no communication. Like, it was lovely. And now, we connect to the airplane Wi-Fi. And now the airlines have hired, SpaceX through Starlink to provide it to airplanes. So that's also quite interesting and exciting.
There's nowhere for you to get a moment in peace of quiet anymore, Cam.
No, there isn't. No, there were all sorts of small moments that used to be you're kind of cut off from the world and you could just check out for a while, and they're all slowly but surely disappearing. And that does annoy me, I will say.
I'll never leave you.
Exactly. So it's it is nice to be able, for business people to be able to send emails and all that type of thing. It's quite nice, sort of thing. And I definitely, as someone who is constantly emailing and talking to staff, I can see that as a definite use for business travelers sort of thing. But as a private person, I enjoyed those moments on trains and planes and things where you were unplugged, and that's all going away. It's very unfortunate. So, but
yeah, I wasn't old enough to enjoy that. Like, that was a little too young to be able to enjoy that. So I've always just had, it's always been that way for me. So that's why I guess it didn't bother me.
Yeah, I lived most of my youth before cell phones really became a thing. And so, yeah, there were whole times, days, situations, people could not get a hold of you. And even then, having cell phone signal wasn't really common until like the mid 2010s. Like even like where I went to college, there were parts of campus didn't have cell phone signal like at all, and that was only 2007 to 2011. So yeah, it was a very different time. We were not as connected, and sometimes I miss it. I love it because it allows me to work in ways that I wouldn't ordinarily be able to work. I probably wouldn't be able to do what I do where I do it if it wasn't this way. But I do miss those moments of loneliness. You know, those little quiet moments where no one can really get a hold of you. It's nice.
They also, distance makes the heart grow fonder type of energy.
Quite so. Quite so. So
how can I miss you if you never leave?
Yeah, no, that's legit. That's a legit a legit thing. So yeah, the world's just getting more and more connected. I think the only sad thing about Starlink and all this type of thing is it's under private auspices for private corporations. I would prefer such a thing be in the public hands, but that ship has sailed.
I don't know, man. I've seen what the public does. The general public is not to be trusted with a lot of things. I feel like that's why they don't.
By public, I mean government entity.
I know,
not the general public itself. Because I mean, yes, we definitely do not want just any old body in charge of certain things. If any old body was in charge of sewage and sanitation, we'd all be up to our necks in it.
Well, I mean, is that in combination of Gavin Newsom's title? Because the San Francisco people he's not doing a very good job over there.
Well, no. I mean, to your point, when you don't have people who are busy cleaning up, this is the problem. This is why Philly has a trash issue. San Francisco I mean, I always tell the story. The first time I ever went to Capitol Hill in Seattle, there was literally a guy taking a shit in a bush as I was pulling into the Wendy's. And that was quite a many years. That was over 10 years ago now. And that was kind of like my introduction to Seattle, and it wasn't as bad then back in 2014 as it is now. And so yeah, it's a huge a lot of mental illness out there, a lot of unmedicated people, a lot of drug addicts, a lot of poverty. Yeah, and as someone who has worked with street people, sat with street people, all this type of thing, there's a lot of things people misunderstand and don't understand about that. But regardless of what transpired, government, I mean, having lived in a city who's kind of known for having the problem and watched government fail to handle it for years, there's definitely a lot more that government can, could, and should be doing in a lot of places to solve a lot of those issues. And, hopefully now we have the right encouragement and the right incentives to actually get busy about it. Because for a lot of people, I mean, I'm the type of person, I'm willing to tolerate a lot of problems with quality of life in a city because I love living in a city. I live in the burbs right now and I die every single day. A little bit. 0.01% every day. Sort of thing. But most people really don't, like, especially if you come from a nice, quiet, clean suburb like the one that we live in, which is quite old, but it's very clean. I mean, I left my car running in the yard and no one touched it. That's where, we live in a very lovely area. Sort of thing of most people, when you come from this environment and you go to a busy, bustling downtown center with someone selling watches, someone selling fake purses, a man is shitting in a bush, all this type of thing, most people run, not walk home back to where they came from. And so I think it ends up with this perception and this idea that these places are fundamentally unsafe because people, want to have that same lovely experience they're used to in a city center. And I'm not saying that's an unfair expectation. I don't think it is. But it definitely creates interesting debates and conversations about how to deal with people in the public and how to deal with homeless people and mentally ill people and all this type of thing. And I think most people are just kind of fed up with it all. And I don't blame them. I will give them that. I don't blame the frustration. It's real out there.
when Ron DeSantis whipped out the San Francisco poop map. Oh my God, it was like the biggest Chad move I've ever seen. He's like, here's San Francisco. See all the stuff in red? That's active daily reported sightings of feces, human feces. And the whole county, the whole like city limits is just blanketed in red. There is poop everywhere. The Ron DeSantis poop map. But yeah, it's the thing like Seattle and like Portland, and it's like, yeah, you can show all like the little like fairy tale lovely touristy places you want that make Portland or Seattle look wonderful. So go walk down the back streets. Go walk over that neighborhood at night. Tell me how you feel. Go walk down one of them creepy tunnels with no lights and there's garbage and like fucking people pissing and shit. And there's like a fent zombie at the end. You know, a guy, he's just like holding onto a shopping cart high out of his mind. Tell me you feel safe.
I mean, people kind of forget. I mean, I lived very near the lady in Seattle who literally did crack on a couch she had out in front of the courthouse for months, and they never moved her. I drove by her, like, on the way to the Walgreens to get, you know, toiletries and things like... no, I mean, and there's... I mean, especially with the pandemic, they let people sleep in RVs, whatever have you. There was, next to the train yards, going south on 4th in Seattle, squalor is the only word to describe what a lot of that area was. And towards the end of my time in Seattle, a lot of people in the International District, which traditionally is a combination of Japanese, Korean, and Chinese, there's a lot of older people who still live there because that's their neighborhood, that's where their church is, that's where their community centers are. The signs are printed in 8 languages. And so they really felt like the rest of Seattle was kind of pushing the problem southward and into their neighborhood. And a lot of the older Asian ladies who had started to get attacked in the street pushing the little metal carts to get their groceries at the H-Mart, really felt like the city was kind of just dumping the problem on the International District unfairly. And there's definitely some truth to that, because the nicer neighborhoods where wealthier people who donate to mayoral campaigns live tend to not have those issues, oddly enough. So it's like you're not going to find a lot of homeless problem in South Lake Union where Amazon is, or in Magnolia, or on Bainbridge Island, where Linda Evans lives. You know, you're not going to, or Mercer Island, which is named after one of the founders of Seattle. Like, you're not going to see those problems in those locations. But I lived at 6th and Yesler. And if you want to see that on a Google map, it's not a great part of town. I'm a full-time artist. I don't make a lot of money. So, like, I lived in a not great part of town. My car is broken into 3 times. I've told the story. It's a whole thing. And that's something where... And people want to be able to go into cities and have fun and see sights and attractions and shows and all this type of thing. And they want to do so in a safe, clean environment. I don't blame them.
Not even that. People just want to be able to live without getting mugged or shit. There's people that live in these ghettos, in these neighborhoods, that want a better life. And it just keeps getting pushed to the side. And it's like, yeah, because they don't take care of the crime. And like you can call anybody in this chat who sees this later. You can call me a bullshitter. You can call me whatever. Having worked directly with law enforcement for years and in the medical field for years, and I'm still a licensed medical professional. There are places where cops will tell you they just do not go. They will not go because it's not. Oh, you're going down. Oh, it's down on 5th and whatever. Oh yeah, no, we don't go down. It's a no-go zone.
Yeah.
So it's either, if it's like a single cop car, say it's like domestic violence or something, they're not going down there. No. You gotta wait. You gotta wait till like 3 or 4 other units come with you.
Yeah.
Everybody was yelling at Trump over Memphis or whatever. I lived in Tennessee. I walked around, I never felt like I needed a gun until I started living there. But I used to walk around. I'm generally like a big dude. I don't really feel threatened, or people don't really start fights with me. Or anything. I don't look aggressive, but I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to go check out Memphis sometime, and they're like, do you have any black friends? And I'm like, no. Like, I just moved here, and they're like, yeah, I wouldn't go if you don't know somebody, because they'll just kill you if you go down the wrong place. Like Lil Boozy has a great quote about that. He's like, no, we don't battle rap. No, we don't. That's not a thing. That's an East Coast thing, because if you battle rap down here in the South, they'll come up to your house and kill you.
No, I mean there's a lot of factors to the homelessness, crime, and street problem, but I still maintain, and I've had multiple members of law enforcement say this, you could cut crime in any American city in half by literally arresting 300 people. Like,
Yeah.
arrested and crime immediately falls by half, which makes everything a lot easier, to manage, sort of thing. And that even gets into, I think the frustration people feel with the way the legal system has begun to work. On the NewsHour on Monday, I covered this long thread someone wrote about the Charlie Kirk thing. Don't necessarily want to jump into that. But the other story that week that got overshadowed by that was a young Ukrainian woman named Irina something or other, something Russian, and she got stabbed.
So close together, yeah.
Yes, she got stabbed in a subway by this guy who was a repeat offender and had been let out 14 times. That does not look good, everyone. I don't care what the reasonableness is, all this type of thing. And also, as someone who's a big believer in harm reduction, in many ways, that even extends to things like, safe injection sites, which are not popular. People do not like that idea. I'm a big harm reduction person. That also applies to all the rest of us. And focusing on the harm reduction to society as a whole. And that's where, those that choose to live that lifestyle need to be sent elsewhere. Those who have a mental health or medical issue, who, with some support, could get their lives back together, definitely could use those resources. There are people who need to be warehoused somewhere. And I think, for better or for worse, we're getting back to a place as a country where we're willing to start warehousing people who just aren't fit for the public anymore. And I think that is something that, with the right type of regulation and oversight, so they don't become terrible shitholes again, is definitely something worth exploring and worth pursuing to make society safe for people who can manage it. And that, and the thing is, I've seen supportive housing work incredibly well. The city of Tacoma built a wonderful community. There's a lot of rules and regulations, but it's clean. People go to work, people have cars, they rebuild their lives there, and they eventually move on. I had a buddy who lived in one, and even he kind of got his act together. I've even seen, rehabilitative semi-supportive housing work really well. I also, because I have weird friends, I even know someone who will be living in supportive housing with a social worker for the rest of his life. But fortunately, he lives in a state that spends money on that, and so he's able to live in an environment where he can thrive and contribute to society. We have to start exploring these systems and options, because what we have isn't working. And it shows. It shows when a young woman gets stabbed in the subway. It shows when all of these terrible things happen. And if there's any one thing I definitely blame my political party for, is we do not talk about and address these things enough. And we've totally ceded the argument to the other side. And this isn't a political show, but it's quite telling when you have half the country, the other major political party, that won't even talk about it. And I find that very frustrating. Now, over on the Cameron Journal, we have no such compunction. I'll yak about it all the time. But there's a lot of people that, people want to be able to go around and feel safe in public, and I don't fault them for that. Not one bit. And no one should be forced to drive by a man taking a shit in the bush trying to get a burger at Wendy's, as happened to me. That's not something that people should be seeing. And if it does happen, that person should be quickly collected by some lovely people and taken away. Yeah.
Well, shall we move on?
This segment started about rockets and space, and we've gone completely off the reservation. Let's pull back onto the highway. And in segment 2, we have sports. I have NFL stuff. Do you guys have any other sports things you want to talk about? Otherwise, I'm going to do 5 minutes on football.
No, just the if you have your thing, and then only the second thing I wanted to talk about the injury.
Oh yeah, I have the video for that actually.
Oh cool. But go take it away.
Yeah. So all right, well, I'll do general football, then we'll get into Tyreek. Okay, cool. So yeah, it was another. Well, it was kind of an eventful week in football because of the whole Tyreek thing. We're gonna get to that, but I was looking at standings and win-loss records. Why are the Steelers doing good this year? I don't understand. Something's gone wrong in the country. The Steelers are 3-1. I don't understand. that it's just crazy. The Texans did finally get a win. The Titans are still losing, as one does. The Jets are still losing. No surprise there. Buffalo is 4-0. The country's in a place. Pittsburgh is winning, and Buffalo's having a 4-0 season. Like, this is not good for the country, I think.
Buffalo winning is never a good thing because
it's a sign.
Those guys are crazy.
It's a harbinger of things to come. Also, the Eagles are 4-0. How are the Eagles good this year? I don't understand. It's a crazy thing. But I was looking at, just the standings. I was kind of like, wow, what is happening? I don't understand. All the usual names are having a really great year this year. I did see, in tangential football news, Jay Cutler is going to jail this weekend for 4 whole days because of his DUI. Oh. So, he used to play for the Broncos. I'm originally from Denver, so I'm aware of him. And yes, he's going to the county lockup for 4 whole days for his DUI as part of his plea deal. So, that'll really teach him, folks.
Boy,
I did not know that he played football when he was younger.
Yeah, he played for Denver.
or different.
What
Jay Cutler. There's a gentleman. There's a gentleman in bodybuilding named Jay Cutler.
Oh no, different guy.
Okay, well,
this guy's a football. Yeah, this guy's a football player. But no, I mean, I was also looking at just names and people, which kind of triggered that thing. But like, Mahomes is doing well on Kansas City with 9. I haven't checked in on how Taylor Swift's boyfriend is doing. But I'm sure Kansas City's not doing well, so they're gonna blame Taylor for distracting him because they're getting married and all this sort of thing. So I'm sure everyone in Kansas City is real thrilled about, it's football season and they're trying to get their stuff going, and their main guy is, busy designing wedding invitations. So, that's how it goes, unfortunately. Do
you think Travis Kelce's that type of guy to sit there and put little dots on invitation cards?
Who knows what kind of power T Swift has over her man.
I mean, Kansas City is 2-2 this season. I doubt either of them are doing their own wedding invitations. An assistant sent an Excel spreadsheet with a list of people, and a company will be doing it. But I'm sure there was much hubbub about, who to invite and what the invitation should look like and what font and what color and what weight of paper. I mean, you can spend a whole day just on the invitations and the save the date cards. It's a whole thing. It's a whole wedding.
Do you have any input, Mr. Kelsey? And he's like, football.
Right. Usually football's on the front. And Taylor's just like, no, honey, we're not doing that.
And then he tackles her. No.
The CTE hits.
Right. Yeah. That's after the divorce. That will be the title track. Tackled by Kelsey, sort of thing. Although she's not that she's not that explicit. It'd be kind of like tackled for love, the Taylor's version, or some shit like that.
It's a song that it's like. Could have been forever, but your ass got sacked.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be some shady, extremely shady sort of thing.
You thought you had a first down, but you fumbled.
Yeah. It'll be some super shady sort of thing. I will say though, before we watch the Tyreek video, that Bad Bunny is going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show in February. So it will be very Puerto Rican and very Spanish, considering he doesn't really do English. So that'll be fun. There's a promo video out and all this type of thing. So that was better than the rumor they'd hired Adele. I'm like, that's just going to be we're just going to be crying the whole night. Like, that's no good. So Bad Bunny will lift everybody's mood and all this type of thing. And yeah, so it's so that's kind of the football. the football minute or two. Um, yeah, I'm just still trying to get over, that Pittsburgh is doing well and Buffalo's doing well, and that's just it's gonna not be good for the country. So just not good for the country. Yeah, there was a mid-season retirement. Shaquille Leonard did retire from the Colts, but I do have though the video of Tyreek Hill getting his knee blown out. So let's watch.
Ooh.
We'll do this. Here we go. This is gnarly. Watch this.
So you're gonna want to see. It's gonna be his left leg, his anatomical left leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Does not look pleasant.
No.
All
no.
kind of twisted, sideways,
Yep.
locked out. Ugh.
Yep. It's dislocated, multi-ligament tear, all this type of thing, season ending. If I were him, I'd retire. You're gonna be lucky if you can keep walking. But yeah. Anyway, so that was kind of the big story this week. On the football.
Nasty injury.
Front. So yeah, well, when you had mentioned that you want to talk about it, I was kind of like, oh, that's really cool. And so then I went and actually found the video because I hadn't done my football research yet. So I made sure to go find the video on Twitter. So I will.
Yeah.
I will tell people we've introduced the sports segment to make the show a little bit more broy. I haven't followed football in a couple years because life has been crazy. So I'm still getting back into it and following accounts and getting up on the gossip and everything. So bear with me as I get back into my football place. I'm not doing fantasy this year. When I did add 4 fantasy leagues going, I was obsessed and had like multiple news feeds. It was really crazy. But I haven't played fantasy in 4 years either. So I'm still getting back up to speed. But this was quite gnarly. So that's football. Will, you had a minor sports story to talk about?
Oh yeah,
so the Tyreek thing.
This was just about Tyreek. Yeah, just
Okay,
looking at his injury when he, you see when it starts, he like essentially locks out his leg, and that starts probably the beginning of the end for him.
Yeah.
When it's stiff armed, he got locked in. The weight twisted it. He came down, and it twisted his leg like a Ken doll, or like Lord Farquaad with the gingerbread man legs. Just twisted it around like an action figure. And the femur and the thigh stayed, but the knee couldn't take it, and it twisted. It most likely ripped several of the ligaments off of from the guys that held that guy's knee together, and like his what the heck am I trying to say? Not his the leg bone. Anyway, your lower leg. I'm having a brain fart. But anyway, yeah, so probably 7 or 8 different ligaments.
A fibia?
Yes, thank you. Jeez, having a brain fart. Your tib fib, yeah. So he definitely completely severed that off. That's twisted around. Hopefully his artery is okay, but it's probably hurting. It's probably pissed off at the least.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for blood clots too, seriously, because if you crumple a thing like that, blood clots and circulation issues are a big problem.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, that's yeah. If
Good
I
luck,
were him,
Tyreek Hill, heal up.
yeah, if I were him, I'd take a retirement and be glad I could walk. But anyway, so
yeah, a terrible injury. I hope you're okay. I hope you get back on your feet. No pun intended. But,
yes, I mean literally. No, literally on your feet. So it's so yes, that was a bit of our sports segment. Segment number 3. We're gonna play a little game. So this is new. I came up with this new idea that we could play a game, and it's kind of a bit related to sports, but not really. We're going to do a non-sports fantasy draft around a given subject. So, the way we play this is we have to pick a thing, a category of something, and then we go around and we draft up what the best things that we think for this certain item, and then we will And then we will kind of see who has the best list once we have 3 to 5 things. So, to make this easier on ourselves, I'm going to scroll down to the end of our working document and start a new page so that we can keep track of this visually. Non-sports fantasy draft. See, if I were really on top of this, I would have done this before the show. But we're not that clever here. So, we're going to start with category, and then we'll do lists. Will, Connor, and Cam. So, category of things. I was going to throw it out to see if anyone had any ideas, and if you don't, I do have a couple. So, categories of things. What are we thinking would be interesting? I was inspired by the recent reminder of Wanta Fanta and the Fantanas, and I was thinking our first category could be sodas.
Sodas?
Mm-hmm.
Soda!
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start with sodas. So, so we're gonna start
Fanta in the
with
fridge.
right. So here we go. All right. So, we'll start with you, Will. So your the first soda you want to draft onto your perfect soda lineup. Imagine we're serving a flight of sodas to aliens who've arrived to our planet, and they want to know what's the best stuff to drink, and you've been assigned by the government to present a flight of the country's best sodas. What would you put in your flight? And we'll do 5. What's your first pick, Will?
Is it currently available sodas or just any of my favorites?
I will say it currently has to be on the market because that will knock off things like Tab and things like that haven't been produced in decades. So let's say it has to be on sale today on October the 1st, 2025.
Okay. My first pick probably will be Vanilla Pepsi.
Vanilla Pepsi.
I can add here too next time.
Okay. Connor, your first soda pick for your flight of soda to the aliens.
I would just have to go with my favorite and go with Sprite.
Alright. And I am going to go with an OG pick that is still on sale, RC Cola, which you can still find on the occasion in certain select locations. Alright, round 2. This is the second glass in your flight of sodas to the aliens. What's your second pick?
That's an easy pick. Orange Crush.
Orange Crush.
Best orange soda.
That's my dad's favorite. Connor, your second glass in your flight to the aliens.
I'm gonna have to rock a Barq's root beer.
Ooh, I love that pick, actually. Okay. Now, and for my second one, I will go with... I think... Actually, I'm going to go with a common... I'm going to go with Cherry Coke.
Nice.
Yes. That is... Alright, so, in glass number 3 in your flight of soda, Will, option number 3 is...
Option number 3 of, let's see, I would say, I'm gonna go with the original standard Mountain Dew.
Ah, yes. That, I found a wonderful ad that I saved into my advertising playlist with Joan Crawford, who was a brand ambassador for Pepsi for years and years and years. And there's a picture of her in a makeup chair in a Hollywood studio with her feet bare talking about drinking Mountain Dew, because at the time they used a little kind of hillbilly man with no shoes to sell Mountain Dew sort of thing. And so there's a really funny ad of her sitting, like she's getting her makeup done for a very glamorous movie with no shoes on to talk about why you should drink Mountain Dew, which is hilarious. Anyway. Connor, glass number 3. What are the aliens drinking?
A classic Dr. Pepper.
Dr.
No
Pepper
flavors.
is horrifically underrated, by the way.
I agree. Hard agree with that.
Yes. And for my third choice, I'm going to go with ginger ale, particularly Canada Dry. That
Strong
will
choice.
cure everything. If you got it, ginger ale will cure it. And Schweppes is disgusting. That's vile, swill, and should never be allowed out. All right, Will, glass number 4.
My glass number 4 is going to be Yarritos with the flavor of guava.
Mmm.
Yeah, the
Guava
guava one's wicked
Yarritos.
good.
Oh, so good.
Yes, that is an excellent decision. Connor, glass number 4.
Well, I might be breaking our rules, but oh well, because Mountain Dew is still on the shelves, but this flavor was a limited time. It would be the Pitch Black.
Oh, it's still around.
Oh,
it
yeah,
is?
that's still around. Yeah. Pitch
Oh,
Black
nice.
Mountain Dew? Yeah.
Yeah. Great
Yeah, it's-
flavor, kind of sour, delicious.
Absolutely. No, that's
Yeah, every once in a while you find it around here, but yeah, they still make it.
Yeah, it is hard. It is super hard to find, though. Like, super, super hard to find. I am going to go for my glass number 4. I'm going to go with my own special suicide. And that will include Coke, root beer, Sprite, and a topper of Dr. Pepper. All right, and for our final glass, remember there's this last one. What's the finisher for the aliens? What flavor do we want to leave them with in glass number 5? Will.
This is a very difficult decision. I feel like a lot more weight is placed on this than I should probably be placed on it, but
It's the finisher. That's why it's important. This is the flavor that's going to be left on their little proboscises.
the proboscises.
Well, they may not have tongues. They may just have little things that drink like this.
I think I'm gonna go with red Hawaiian Punch.
Ooh, I used to take red Hawaiian Punch and make jungle juice of that in college. I highly recommend. Yes.
Great jungle juice. Yep.
Yeah, and I would also let it ferment so it was nice and potent. That's Connor, your final finisher for the aliens.
I'm gonna have to rock the Jarritos brand, but the lime flavor.
Also, very good one.
All right, and my finisher, I think it's always best to finish on, because we've had dark, light, dark. We need to go back to something light. And I think I'm going to go with Cherry 7-Up.
Ooh, nice.
Good pick.
Yes. So now I'm gonna do a little twist to this game, because like in a football draft, you can change things around every week if you're in a pick'em pool rather than being stuck with your thing for the whole season. So I'm going to say that given that the aliens are going to drink this in order, Would you change the order of flavors the aliens are experiencing? You have one chance to change. We're gonna start with Will. If you want to change the order they're gonna drink it in, now's the time.
I am fine with my order.
Oh, see, I would have moved the. I would have swapped the. I would have put the Pepsi at the end because you have a lot of fruit. That's interesting.
The Pepsi, I find having, I don't know why, but the richness of the Pepsi and the vanilla in the beginning is like, I don't know, it kind of sets the mood, and then everything gets brighter as you go towards the end.
No, that is true. See, yeah, no, that's a good point because I was thinking like the vanilla finisher. I was thinking, oh, that'd be a really cool. But no, I get where you're going from. Okay, Will, you're locked in. Connor, you have your one chance to change your order.
I'm gonna make a lot of switches, so I'm gonna also add to the document.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna start them off with the lime Jarritos.
Okay, that's a strong choice.
And then I'm gonna hit them even harder.
Oh shit!
With the Pitch Black Mountain Dew.
Okay. Okay.
I think I'll put the root beer in the middle. Dr. Pepper fourth. And then for that nice, refreshing, like, palate cleanser, give them the Sprite last.
Ending on the Sprite is a clutch move. That's a very smart move to end on something very clean and refreshing. Yes, that's why I had the same thing with the cherry 7-Up. I want that to be the finisher. The only change I want to make is I'm gonna switch the ginger ale and my special suicide because I would like to go from very intense to less intense as they move through the flight. So it's like dark a lot, kind of fruity but still a lot. And in the middle, we have this very kind of heavy but weirdly refreshing sort of thing. And then we brighten things up with the ginger ale, and then we finish on the cherry 7-Up. So that will be the only change I'm going to make. So no, this was fun. I love this. So here's now what we're gonna do. When I post this episode to Substack, if you're watching this, if you're interested, you want to make suggestions on all this type of thing, go over to thelivingjoke.substack.com and comment on this episode. The soda list will be there. What do you think? What would you change? Which 5 sodas would you serve to the aliens? This is our first interactive moment. We're interacting with the people. So go over to our Substack, thelivingjoke.substack.com, subscribe, and you'll have us delivered to your inbox. But also make sure to comment on our soda non-sports fantasy draft, and I'll write the story about how the aliens have come to Earth. We've been ordered to prepare 5 sodas for the aliens, and here's what we came up with. So, yeah. So that's kind of the end of this. Did we have fun? Did we enjoy this?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, well, we'll do it again. I think it was a lot of fun, especially for a show that's already gone all over the place. But so for our dessert, which is kind of how we end the show, we start with an icebreaker and end on a dessert, which is a fun production thing we do. But we kind of we never really tell people about it. But for the dessert, we're going to be watching a trailer. I don't have the link to it, Connor. So if you could put that in the document so we can watch it, that would be lovely.
We can do the link, or I could just narrate it even if we wanted to. What do you guys think?
Do you want to let it play and then you can kind of talk over it?
We can let it play. I'll turn it down real quiet and you can talk over it. So,
all right.
And hopefully they'll be nicer than Netflix was over Ragnarok. Ooh.
Yeah, Netflix. We're trying to promote your shit,
right? And we were talking, it was commentary. It's fair. I put in a fair use claim. They said no, but I did. I'm like, of course, we're not.
It went to a bot.
Yeah.
They go right to a bot. It's like, what's the point? It's just going to get auto-declined by a bot. Why do you even have it?
Yeah. So, all right, here we go. All right. Let's change to this. And here we are. Let me turn down this volume. And here we go.
We open with a knock on the door, mysterious, and a red card slides through. For whom, we don't know. For us, the player character.
Yes.
Not really creepy at all. It's a nice door. 10 years since the redacted, horror, redacted, cursed, redacted, have once again redacted into the forbidden. The forbidden what? I would like to know. I haven't played a horror game in depth at all. This might be my first one. Light the fires to celebrate. This building was redacted from a 3D scan of a redacted found in a redacted. And then redacted were redacted in a sinister ritual. Lots of they're really not giving us a lot of information. Oh, this part coming up I thought was cool when I first watched it. Looks like our first, puzzle. It's definitely one of those
A nondescript apartment.
Yeah. Very bland, aside from, this, what looks to be some kind of shrine, or someone's just hoarding a lot of candles. That's all they like.
That's what they found at Diddy's house.
But this caught my attention as they start to light the candles. It looks like maybe... I wonder if that's in-game right there. Or if it's just all for the trailer, but it kind of looked like it switched through. I wonder what the single picture of the eye on the wall about, too. I didn't hear the person yell when I first watched it.
We lit a baby on fire. A candle baby, but then a real baby started screaming.
It also looks like one of the candles is, just ahead. Down there on the left.
Oh, it does.
Kind of blurry.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and then as they light this one, creepy.
It's
And
bleeding. It
everything
looks like a
starts
limp
to
truffle.
Worms. I don't mind worms, but I could see how that would gross some people out. This looks not like definitely just the opening thing.
There's a mid-looking person looking frightened.
And a Geiger counter.
Yeah.
She's got
It's not
poo-poo.
3.5 Ronkin, it's 15,000.
It looks like they played too much with the hammer. They got it all over their face.
Mom found the poop drawer.
No.
Ooh.
But more screaming.
She's got
That
me.
hurt. Giant hands.
That
That would be like if Anne came up to me and grabbed my face. That was actually me. That's Cameron.
That's how Melania held Zelensky's face when she went to Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna save you!
It looks like that could be fun if there's actual, puzzles and stuff, but if it's just kind of, interactive and then creepy things happen, not really interested.
Well, it's from our
You mean
dear
if it's
friend.
like a hallway?
Yeah.
I mean, it is from our dear friend Hideo Kojima, so I'm sure it will be weird, because that man, his brain.
There's bound to be a lot of puzzles and bullshit in it, if I had to guess, but monster hallways or monster closets and jump scares are it's a walking if it's a walking simulator that has jump scares in it, then it's just gonna be boring. But yeah. Oh, look, I'm hopeful for it. Future guest of the show, Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
We're talking to his agents currently.
The people don't know, this has kind of become a running joke. When the network asked us for what type of guests we would want on the show, they sent me over a list the AI had put together of who would be the best fit for us to talk to, and at the top of that list was Hideo Kojima. And I laughed and said, 1, he doesn't do interviews, and I said, for 2, if you think he's going to come on our show, you're smoking the wrong stuff, and we need to review what you're shortly. So we now have this running joke that one of these days he's going to come to our show, and he's just already such a great friend to us and all this type of thing. And I will, honestly probably save this clip, because if that ever does happen, before he comes on, I'm going to play me saying this whole thing, and then we have like, and today on the show. So,
we gotta keep it going until he gets here.
Yes.
Blow everyone's minds.
Yeah, to be kind of like, yeah, and here we are, like, what's up? So,
could be one of those stupid like manifestation commercials. Yes, we manifested Kojima to come be on the show.
Yes, exactly. Even though the interview had to be cut together and pre-taped because of translation, but it's
maybe we could get him to do the intro like you do with the solo camera, and it's like your office, but he turns around and says, "Hello, I do Watashi wa Kojima." Like, welcome to The Living Joke. It is my favorite show.
That would be.
We will bring the guys in here in a minute.
Yes. Yes, and no, that would be so crazy. And yes, so that got rejected and sent back to them and said, please try again with a more realistic list. Even just people who actually do interviews and press, which he does not. But go ahead and So it's but yeah, no, thank you for suggesting that. It looks very interesting. So it'll be interesting to see what Are you planning on watching gameplay to see if you want to get it, or are you trying to avoid spoilers?
No, I don't want to watch any gameplay. I've never really played just a true, to the core, like, horror genre game before. So, could be a good first. Could be a good first, could be an awful first. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right, well, that's our dessert. It's 10 after 5, so, next week, potentially, we're gonna have a little bit of different thing with this show. My boss and the head of our network, Wade Franson, his son is big into Pokemon, and he managed to nab a big box of Pokemon cards. He drug his father all over rural Wisconsin to Costco to get these cards. And he got one of the display boxes at Costco of the new Pokemon drop. And potentially, we think, next Wednesday, he's going to come on the show and do some Pokemon card pulls with us, which should be really cool and interesting. So, next week, this show may end up being a part 1 and part 2, where we do the normal podcast from 4 to 5, because he has to get home from school and he's an hour behind us. So, we have the normal podcast from 4 to 5, and then sort of stop it there, say hello, take a break, and then come back when he's in, and then continue on with just the Pokemon card pulls, because I imagine that'll be like a whole hour. Like, it'll be some time with all that, because it's a big box and all this type of thing. So, check our socials for that for next week. I have not confirmed this totally yet, but we may be doing Pokemon card pulls with a real life high school kid, talk about gaming, Pokemon, all that type of thing, and go from there. So, that's this show. That's potentially next week. Check our socials for updates on that. Final thoughts, guys, before we go?
No, it was fun. I like that game idea you had.
Thank you. I try.
And I'm going to be I don't know if it's not today, but tomorrow or this weekend, I've been talking and yapping about doing an art stream again. And I have some footage I got to upload or whatever. But anyway, I didn't have any paint until today, and now you can kind of see that Zod is gone. So it's actually happening. We're going to do it soon. It's going to be in the next couple days, and we'll do an actual art stream. You can watch me draw poorly on my wall with assistance. But
he draws excellently on his wall, so... and in all areas of life. That's one talent I wish I had. I can't draw stick figures, so I'm always impressed with people who can draw anything, and Will is excellent and whatnot. So that's definitely a must-watch sort of thing. So, all right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for coming to the show. We will see you next week, hopefully with Pokemon Pull, but Will's art stream's coming up. Connor streams while on the weekends. I'll be back with the news hour on Monday, and we'll see you next week on The Living Joke, everyone. Bye-bye now.
see you, everybody.